Coachella Weekend 2 is officially done. And wow, there's a lot to unpack. Artists were straight up calling out crowds for being dead quiet, like no energy at all. Then you've got James Charles trying to spin the block with another Bye Sister moment, plus random drama popping off everywhere. Private jets, pizza chaos, you name it. And don't even get started on those influencer gifting suites, completely over the top, next level wild. Somehow, even with all that, Weekend 2 still managed to feel way bigger and messier than Weekend 1.
And he comes back to the front door wide open. The latch by the padlock had been messed with, and he's kind of like, okay, what's going on? But he is soon met with none other than Polaroid strips of these two girls placed all around the house. Master bedroom, kitchen, whole nine. And get this, their full names, their Instagram handles, their governments, they left it all. Just so you know, I'm not lying.
Usually Weekend 1 is where everything goes down, where all the viral moments hit first. But this time, Weekend 2 came in loud and chaotic and completely stole the spotlight. Honestly, this might be the most unhinged Coachella weekend we've seen in years, no exaggeration. It's messy, it's dramatic, and it just keeps stacking up story after story. So yeah, we gotta break it all down. Last week, in episode 1 of the Influencer Olympics, we talked about influencers getting dropped last minute by brands and basically getting stranded with no Coachella plans. And it wasn't a small thing either. This was happening across the board. People had no hotels, no camping spots, no Airbnbs. Everything was fully booked, completely locked down. Influencers were posting nonstop about it, video after video, all saying the same thing. Total chaos, no backup plans, just vibes ruined. Then things started to make more sense. Turns out brands weren't always the main problem.
The police are like, yeah, no one broke and entered. Basically, this property, amongst many others, are managed by Helios and all of the check-ins and the whatever. I booked the house on Verbo. Someone went in the back end before I checked in, went into my profile, got all the information, and then wiped it clean. So either these two girls know someone at Helios or these two girls are someone at Helios.
Word got out that a lot of these Airbnb owners were playing a shady game after seeing how crazy demand got this year, especially with all the hype tied to Justin Bieber. Even if places were booked months ahead, some hosts would cancel last minute and relist the same spot for double the price. Yeah, double. They knew someone desperate would still pay, and honestly, they weren't wrong. Now here's where things start looking a little suspicious. Like I said, it felt like there was video after video of influencers, big and small, claiming they got canceled on last minute. These clips were pulling in crazy views too, but if you really watch them, some stories just didn't hit the same. A few sounded believable, but others, not so much. Then Manny MUA and Laura Lee dropped their Coachella recap podcast on Friday, and they didn't hold back. They straight up called out the trend, saying a lot of smaller influencers were exaggerating or flat out lying about getting canceled just to chase views. And honestly, that changed the whole vibe of the situation real quick. They even pointed out one creator who claimed she was offered like $200,000 to go to Coachella but turned it down because it didn't match her morals. Yeah, people were not—
So I got invited to Coachella this year with a brand and then uninvited. Long story short, they emailed me. I was so excited. 3 days later, they were like, actually, you're not invited anymore. And I was like, period.
not buying that story at all. The video supposedly disappeared after the backlash, but before that, everyone was reacting like, yeah, right. It just didn't add up. Manny also mentioned something else that stood out. He noticed influencers this year low-key shading others who did go to Coachella with brand deals. Almost like they were trying to look more real or morally above it all. And that energy, it felt calculated. And honestly, he might have a point. Because while brand trips to Coachella are definitely a thing, the numbers being thrown around didn't seem realistic. A $200,000 deal for one creator? That sounds more like celebrity-level money, not your average influencer. But let's be clear, getting paid to attend Coachella is 100% real. Plenty of influencers are securing deals worth thousands, plus free passes and luxury stays. It's actually crazy how different people's Coachella experiences were this year. On one side, you've got influencers getting paid thousands just to show up, living it up in luxury villas, full VIP treatment the whole weekend. And then on the other side, you've got people who really did get canceled on and left scrambling with nothing. The contrast is wild. One creator from last week shared her story about getting completely ghosted by a brand after things went left. She said the brand invited her to their Coachella activation. She agreed. Everything seemed locked in. But then they found out she was planning to stop by other brand events too, and they shut it down fast.
The discourse got so big online with the uninvited influencer that I saw the comments take a very quick turn and people were like, this isn't real. Y'all realize that? Like, yes, some influencers had straight up messages they were willing to show and call out the brands. I no doubt that was real. They got uninvited, that was real. But there were a lot of influencers, and this is what happens with TikTok just because it's such a I want views, like I'll do anything for views type of app. I'll lie for views. Influencers were lying about they were never invited to begin with. They just wanted to make the video to get the click and have the attention on them. So there were a lot of influencers who lied about it.
There was some that I saw that literally were like, this didn't happen.
Okay.
I literally saw myself.
You were like,
I was like, this is crazy.
I
was like, girl, that's not happening. The brand is not telling you that. The brand is not telling you the reason you can't. Like, some of the stories, like, actually, I'm not kidding you, made no sense.
They were too vague.
And they were too vague. And it almost like they were trying to be specific about things, but the things didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Where I was like, that's not happening. Like, that's not normal. It's not normal.
Basically like, nope, you're not doing both. And just like that, she was out. She blurred the brand's logo in her video. But people online started connecting dots and speculating it might have been a brand called Addicted. For a lot of people, this was the first time even hearing that name. And honestly, that shows why brands go so hard during Coachella in the first place. They're spending big money hoping people discover them, see influencers wearing their stuff, and then go buy it themselves. But in this case, it kind of backfired. Instead of good promo, the conversation turned into drama and side eyes. And it didn't stop there either. This same brand was also linked to something that blew up this year, these massive gifting suites. Before Coachella even kicks off, brands rent out huge houses and turn them into full-on experience hubs. We're talking racks of clothes, designer items, Dyson products, sunglasses, makeup, food, literally everything stacked up and ready to be handed out. It's like a private influencer playground, and the scale of it this year was on another level. Literally everything you could think of for Coachella was sitting in these houses. And the wild part? Influencers could just walk in, grab whatever they wanted, and leave. No limits, no rules, just take it and go. Revolve has been known for doing this every year, and people were even saying they were handing out Dyson products last time. Like, that's not small stuff. But this year, a ton of influencers hit up the Addicted gifting suite, and the clips coming out of it had people in shock.
And then I also saw this, I saw this one creator too, and I was like, liar. Like, I just knew she was lying. I saw TikTok, and she was talking about how last year a brand invited her, and they paid her, they were like, I'm offering you $200,000.
No, well, it depends on the size of the influencer, but
She had like 300,000 followers.
No.
You guys, I've never seen so much free stuff in my life. That was the vibe across the board. It looked less like a brand event and more like a full-on shopping spree with no checkout line. And honestly, it raised a big question. Why aren't brands locking this down more? There were no clear restrictions, no real effort to keep it private, and influencers were filming everything. You'd think there'd be NDAs or at least some limits, but nope. It was all out in the open. And instead of good press, it flipped the other way fast. The comments under these videos were brutal. People were like, wait, how is this free? Why are wealthy influencers getting all this stuff for nothing? I'm literally writing down brands not to support. Some even called it dystopian, saying it made them not want to buy from these companies ever again. That backlash was loud and non-stop. What's even crazier is that without the filming, nobody would have even known this was happening. Influencers could have just shown up later wearing the items and it would have looked organic. But now that everything's exposed—
You pay me $200,000 to go to Coachella, and I promise I don't care what your brand is. It could be any brand. It's not gonna bother me. I promise I'll align immediately. I just saw a video of a girl who said she was offered $200,000 to go to Coachella, and she said no because basically it didn't align with her principles or her morals, and so she didn't want to go. You said no for $200,000? You tell me you're paying me $200,000. Like, I could have heard of you yesterday, and I'd still be ready to go. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be some random brand that nobody's ever heard of. All of a sudden, you're offering me to go to the desert and have some fun. I'm there. I'm ready. What's the dress code?
people are questioning the whole strategy. Because right now, the reaction across basically every video is the same. Yeah, I'm not buying from them again. And if you thought gifting suites were the peak of influencer chaos at Coachella this year, it definitely didn't stop there. Think again, because the gifting suites were only one part of the madness. Another thing LA influencers got dragged for this year was taking private jets to Coachella. Even though Coachella is literally just a few hours away by car, Manny MUA and Laura Lee took a private jet with a brand, and their vibe was basically, yeah, we did it, and we do it again. Then James Charles jumped into the mix too. He posted a TikTok from a private jet heading to Weekend 2 and said, "Don't worry though guys, I didn't take a vitamin brand deal this time." Then he captioned it, "Bye sisters, thank you for the private jet," and tagged a private jet company, which looked like a sponsored moment. And yeah, there is a lot going on there. 7 years.
Biggest creators in the world are not getting even close to that to go to Coachella. I'm sorry. They're getting things compensated and they are getting paid to capacities for sure, but you're not getting offered from one brand $200,000 to attending weekend. It's just not happening. A big conversation started to happen too about people going with brands that they didn't align with just to go.
I would say, like in my experience, like bigger, more established creators who have a very, very serious, long-running, influential career, I would say you could probably trust them more. And I know you guys probably argue that a little bit, but it's sometimes the smaller creators. And I don't even want to say you can't trust smaller creators, but it seems like whenever you get in the weeds in there, there's a lot of like just random shit people will say.
There's this thing where like they're trying to just go through the muck of the algorithm and they're trying to like be seen and grow. So they're almost like doing anything and everything that they can to do that, and it's coming up with lies and it's all these different things.
Ago, the whole Bye Sister drama started after James took a Sugar Bear hair sponsorship for Coachella passes, while Toddy was launching Halo Beauty. That whole situation became one of the biggest beauty community scandals ever. So now James joking about it while taking another Coachella-related sponsorship? People definitely noticed. But the main reason people were dragging him wasn't even just the old drama reference. It was the fact that he lives in LA and still took a private jet to Coachella. People in the comments were like, "Do you seriously need to jet to Coachella when it's a 3.5-hour drive?" And James simply replied, "Yes." That answer did not calm anybody down. People in the comments were not holding back at all.
I got an email on Monday of this week for a brand trip to Coachella this weekend, right now, for $10,000, flat fee, plus a flight, plus the VIP package, plus the wristband, like everything.
Person wrote, "Crazy? How you need a PJ to travel 3 hours to Coachella? It's insane." And James fired back saying it's more like 6 hours with traffic during festival season and that he'd still do it again. Then someone else jumped in with, "God, this is so sad. What a world we live in." The backlash just kept building. But here's the part that really got people talking. It wasn't like he was flying out with a full group, a packed jet, staying the whole weekend, making it make sense. Nope. He went back mainly to recreate a viral photo from a few years ago because his Coachella outfits always blow up online. That's what made it feel different. The private jet company he partnered with even posted content around it. In the video, James explains he wants to go to Coachella last minute, completely solo, shoot some content, and then leave the same day. Like, fly in, get the pics, and be back home just a few hours later. All of that, just for content. At least with other influencers using private jets, it's usually a group trip, a full weekend plan, multiple creators splitting the experience. This though,
and like one of the big agreements this weekend was like I only had to wear their clothes, which I was like, okay, like I'm fine with that. They asked me to sign this contract and it basically said I wasn't allowed to go to any other event at Coachella. And this would have been fine if they had told me this in the beginning, but I had already RSVP to Camp Poosh, Revolve Fest, 818 Pose. Then I get back to them, I'm like, this is low-key so sneaky, like what the hell, y'all just snuck that into the contract. So then I asked them like, would it be okay if I just attend maybe just one event? Instead of like responding back being yes or no, they fully were like, we're about to drop you, and then have completely ghosted me from then. So basically, I don't think I'm going anymore.
it felt way more calculated and quick. In and out, content secured, mission done. And honestly, this is exactly why people have been calling it the Influencer Olympics. It doesn't even feel like it's about the music anymore. It's about who you're seen with, what brand you're tied to, what you're wearing, what you got for free, and how well it performs online. That's the real competition now. Even the crowd energy during Weekend 2 looked off. So many clips showed people just standing there, barely reacting. And sure, the heat and crowds probably didn't help, but still, the vibe felt weirdly low. Sabrina brought out Madonna during her set, which should have been a huge moment. But people were saying the crowd wasn't singing, didn't know the words, and just looked disconnected. One influencer even posted a video dancing with her friend and captioned it, "POV, you're the only one singing to Madonna at Coachella." That says a lot. And if you look at the background of those clips, it says everything. People are just standing there, barely moving, not dancing, not singing, just staring. The only thing up? Their phones. Everyone's recording for Instagram like that's the main event. The energy felt so off. The comments were just as confused. One person wrote, "Why is the crowd so dead?" Another said, "How do people not know this song? Is this a status festival or what?" Others were like, "Why does everyone look miserable? Bring it to Europe." Even Addison Rae ended up calling the crowd boring.
Into our super fun gifting suite that we have for Coachella.
So basically we're going to write down what we like on here. So let's go find some clothes. So here are all the clothes. Look how cute these bikinis are. This one's really cute.
Slay.
They literally have everything here. Thank you. Thank you. I can't wait to try everything on. Got my bag and I'm all ready for Coachella.
That's when you know it stood out. It's honestly strange to watch. You see influencer posts and everything looks perfect. Best weekend ever, non-stop fun, dream life vibes. Then you see these raw clips from the crowd, or influencers coming online after saying, "That was the worst weekend of my life. My feet hurt, it was too hot." And suddenly the whole illusion starts cracking. That's when the real story shows up. At this point, it really does feel like it's all about content. The outfits, the photos, the brand deals, that's the priority. Because if Coachella ever banned phones, be real, a lot of these influencers probably wouldn't even show up. It would change everything. But not every moment flopped. One set that actually had people hyped, singing, and fully engaged was Justin Bieber. Weekend 2 basically turned into Bieber-ella, and fans were loving it. The performance looked huge. The crowd finally had energy, and people were actually in the moment. He even brought out Billie Eilish to sing "One Less Lonely Girl," which had fans losing it. And
there's something that happens at Coachella called the Revolve Gifting Suite. Everybody always comes every year and gets the most insane shit. Last year they had Dysons. It's basically like a free-for-all for influencers to get free shit. Let me get some more of those. Get some lip balm. Why not? I think I need one of these. We have to buy a new suitcase, I think. We have to buy 2 new suitcases. Some Diesel sunglasses. Do you like these? Yes. Yeah, 100%. But look at all these pickles. So much stuff. Do I want a cowboy hat? Yes. You thought we were done? There's a whole nother area out here. Should I get these? Just get them in your size. Should I get that? They have Levi's. I want living. They have Caraway. Hello? That is insane.
Haley was in the crowd watching, looking genuinely happy and supportive during the whole thing. That moment, completely different energy from everything else we saw all weekend. Justin even ended the night by stepping right into the front row, getting super close with the crowd, and that's when things got a little uncomfortable. Fans were reaching out, touching him, grabbing his face, even his lips at one point. It got so intense that he had to physically move someone's hand just to keep singing properly. It was a lot to watch. Definitely crossed the line from excitement into chaos for a second. But aside from that moment, the performance itself was a huge success. No major complaints like the ones floating around last weekend either, especially with that whole YouTube situation. Now on the flip side, not everyone was even at Coachella this year, and some people made sure to say something about it.
It is our very own Super Bowl this weekend, Coachella, so come with me to the Addicted Gifting Suite. So every year before Coachella, most brands have gifting suites for influencers to get all their outfits before the weekend starts. And let's just give a big round of applause to the amazing marketing teams that put in countless hours to put together these beautiful events.
Okay, so we picked out all of our outfits, and now we're gonna go to the little checkout, but look how cute it is. All these adorable swimsuits.
And fun fact, I've been working with Addicted since almost day one, and they had this gorgeous house in Bel Air for the day with the most amazing view.
Wayne took to social media and shared a message that had people raising eyebrows. He wrote, "It's truly a humbling experience when events like Coachella and the Grammys come around and like clockwork. I'm uninvited and uninvolved. I appreciate my position or space I hold in your heart and mind. That's timeless. And for that, I thank you. That definitely sounded like he felt left out.
Went to Coachella. We flew there with JSX, which is amazing. We flew there last year.
Oh, they're amazing.
Someone said you live in SoCal. Why are you flying to Coachella?
Kylie Jenner.
Well,
We pulled a Kylie Jenner.
we did. The thing is, if a brand's gonna be like, hey, would you like to fly there or drive 4 hours? It's kind of tough to turn down. It'll be so real.
The jet is going either way.
It's gonna happen.
The jet is going whether
either
we
we're
get
on
on
it
it or not. The
that's just a
jet
fact.
is going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either you fly 30 minutes or you drive 4 hours.
Yep, that's it.
We chose to fly for 30 minutes.
Every single time.
So now people are wondering, was he actually uninvited from Coachella? Or was he just never part of the lineup to begin with? Either way, it doesn't seem connected to the influencer cancellations we saw earlier. This feels more like something on the festival or booking side of things. Maybe talks didn't work out, maybe plans fell through, but it's got people talking for sure. And then there's another situation that didn't really blow up until after the weekend. There's been a lot of chatter about people getting seriously sick after eating from a pizza food truck at the festival. We're talking hours later, people feeling so bad they had to miss the rest of Coachella completely. That's a nightmare scenario. To be fair, nothing's been officially confirmed. But a lot of the stories line up. Same food spot, same kind of symptoms.
Get me to Coachella.
Coachella's in like 2 hours.
Yes, it says it's gonna take about 6 hours to get there with traffic, so I'm calling for a jet.
I can 100% make this happen. It's just, I like a little bit more time than like an hour and a half. How many people is it?
Literally just.
You just go, okay, are you staying the weekend or are we coming back?
My outfits are going viral this weekend and people were always commenting like that they wanted this era of Coachella back, so I'm literally just returning back in one of my old iconic outfits to make content at the festival. If it's possible, I need you to like get me there this afternoon. I want to be on the ground for like 4 hours because I'll just go directly from airport to festival. Take my content right back to airport, so I want to be back in LA tonight.
Same timing. Of course, some people said they ate there and felt totally fine. But that doesn't cancel out everyone else's experience. It could have easily been one bad batch or something going wrong behind the scenes. And honestly, pizza, cheese, heat, and huge crowds, that combination can go left real fast. There are honestly so many ways that situation could have played out, but you'd hope Coachella looked into it before opening back up for weekend 2, because that's the kind of issue that can ruin the entire experience fast. Now to wrap this whole thing up, we have Tana Mongjo, and her weekend took a wild turn. She went to weekend 1 but ended up leaving early, and people immediately started asking questions. She posted a TikTok saying she had to call 911 twice.
Don't know 100% definitively if that was the culprit, but all I know is I ate pizza in the festival on Friday. And I had a not great experience ordering it from them. And then threw up within 2 hours, 3 hours of having it. And then the whole next day did not have a sip of alcohol and was coming out the other end. And that's the day I was completely out, down for the count on Saturday. So
one call was because of an IV situation, and the second one? At the time, nobody really knew what happened. Even Trisha mentioned on Just Trish that she couldn't get in contact with Tana to figure out what was going on. So the mystery just kept growing, and people were seriously confused. Then Tana finally shared a mini story time, and what she said was actually kind of unsettling. According to her, the place she was staying at had been broken into before she even got there. And it gets weirder. The people who broke in allegedly left behind photos of themselves inside the house, with their Instagram handles written on them.
So I tried spicy pie for the first time yesterday at Coachella. Now I'm finding out that other people felt sick afterwards, and I felt so queasy afterward, and I had to go to the porta potty. So that's how you know it was really, really bad. I was so desperate that I had to go in the porta potty.
Like what? Tana said she looked into it and started to believe it might have been some kind of inside setup involving the PR company that arranges influencer housing for Coachella. That's a serious claim, and if true, it raises a lot of questions. And honestly, just thinking about that situation, it's hard to imagine staying there after finding all that out. You'd be wondering who has access, if anyone could come back, or if anything was set up inside without you knowing. That kind of situation would make anyone want to leave immediately. Tana said she still had to pay for the house even after everything that happened. On top of that, she hired 24/7 security to stay outside just to make sure no one came back. And the worst part?
This poor pizza place that is getting blamed for everyone getting sick is crazy because I had multiple friends who were at Coachella who ate the pizza. I actually also ate the pizza on Sunday and it didn't hurt my stomach. So I don't know if maybe it was like a bad batch of pizza on a certain day. I just feel like this Pizzagate is getting really out of hand.
She couldn't even go through the company she rented it from because she believed it might have been an inside situation. Just a complete disaster from every angle. At that point, you have to ask, is any of this even worth it anymore? All of that stress, safety concerns, and chaos just to get some photos, post content, and maybe land a few brand deals? It doesn't even sound fun. It feels more like pressure and risk than anything else. And when you compare it to how Coachella used to look years ago, the difference is wild. Old photos and videos from like 10 to 15 years back show people actually enjoying the music, dancing, being present, just living in the moment. Now it feels way more staged, way more curated, and honestly, way less genuine. At this point, calling it the Influencer Olympics might not even fit anymore. It's starting to feel more like an influencer circus with everything going on. The drama, the chaos, the over-the-top moments. It's a lot. Let me know what you think about all of this. Make sure you like, share, drop a comment, and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of this chaos.